This is the beginning of the Horus Gauntlet. So, in the Warhammer universe, there's a character called Horus, or War Master Horus. And he has a device given to him by the Mechanicum that is a spiked gauntlet, which is a gauntlet is just something goes over your hand that's armored, and it is a forearm piece and a hand piece, and that has giant talons coming out of it, and then a spike here. So for this project, it's going to require a little bit of thought of how it's actually going to work, because the talons themselves are going to be fairly long. I think I'm only going to make them like 2 feet long, which is still massive. And I might do it in multiple sections. But they're made in this sort of... They're made to articulate in some way. All right. Let's do this thing.
So in order to bring something from the digital world into the real world, I need essentially 2 things. I need something that I am going to build, and I am going to need a scale I'm going to build it at. So online I grabbed a helpful 3D model, you'll see in a second, and I also took measurements off of my hand, and I actually decided to go with my right hand with this, after realizing it goes on his right hand, not his left.
Alrighty, back to my source imagery. So I'm going to take a model I got from online. This is the human hand I was going to use by 3D Shop. I got this on Thingiverse. I'm going to use my calipers and measure my hand. I've gotten officially the size of my hand. So I'm scaling my actual source imagery to what I want this to be. So let's get a basic profile going for this thing.
So this is when I started to do all the modeling. I made a series of curves around the hand so that I had enough room to articulate all the fingers, and I made sure that I lightly tuned some of the scaling. I bent the wrist to make it more in line with the rest of the forearm. And then I just started at it. More curves, more sweeps, more tuning of my curves, more sweeps, over and over again until it was 3D modeled. I imported the skull and put that on the knuckles, and I worked off of the source image to get the profile, and I just sort of guessed at the look for the fingers. And that was it. And thought about the mechanism a little. I had to tune it later, but yeah, that was it.
Horus Gauntlet Phase 2. Where I've already 3D modeled it, I have finally 3D printed it, and I'll give you a brief showcase of all my parts, and then I'll start the assembly. Alright, so I have a lot of different parts. I'll start at the elbow. I have the forearm piece. I have the 2 palm pieces, the one with the skull, and then the one for the back of the hand. And then I have the fingers, the thumb, various bits and bobs, and what all the springs attach to here. So I'm going to get to cleaning this up. I might do this in a couple of sections, and then I can start putting this thing together. All right.
So I'm just gonna clean up my parts, and yeah, I don't know why I'm recording this. I wonder if this is going to make it in the final cut. Probably not.
I had to modify this piece a lot to get it to fit right. It's kind of funny. So you probably saw me doing a blowtorch and whatnot in the cutscene. So this was not modeled to go through all the way. So I basically heated up a little metal implement, and then I just sort of made the hole, and then I just melted it around in order to get this. It's just a little trick for getting some of this to work properly, because this is such a big build. It uses up so much filament. I don't want to do any reprints, and I'm just going to let it be how it is.
So I ran into a handful of problems after I did my printing process. So what I needed to do was remodel. So I'm essentially just taking stock of where I messed up and redoing the iterations for some of the things that I missed. I think I had a list of like at least 4 or 5 things I forgot to model correctly. So here it is.
Okay. So my spring system didn't work out so well, so I was thinking about going with a living hinge system so that you could move these, and I just have to find the right plastic that I can 3D print properly. So this is my newest setup. So you basically just pull this little piece of plastic with your finger, and it rotates the whole part. So it's always at tension to some extent, somewhere in the middle, like somewhere around there. And then you just push it to be straight, then close it for tight. So I like that.
So I have a confession to make. Some of these parts, or some of the assembly, I just had a goof with my camera, and it erased about 2.5 hours worth of footage of the assembly of the glove onto the gauntlet itself. And I feel really bad about that, but I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I can show the final tuning of the fingers on the gauntlet, but that's what I got. Sorry, guys.
All right, guys. I'm sorry you missed out on some of my work on my gauntlet. My camera, when I recorded, it just corrupted my video randomly. So a lot of the work that went into this particular stage is just not recorded. Sorry. I'll walk you through what I've done so far, though. So what I've done is have my fingers. They have pins. I've glued the pins in. I have my my palm bracket right here that has a long pin in it that I've attached everything to. My springs are in place. I can move these 3 relatively well, not that one so well. And then my thumb one has some, it has some need to be lengthened so that it's easier for it to work properly. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit. I'm just gonna use the blowtorch. I have been using the blowtorch a lot on this project just to keep things up. Alright, so this is a continuation of the gauntlet. I am going to show it articulate. Fingers.
So I was able to get it to articulate. I was really excited about it, and then I didn't talk to the camera for a while, so I just assembled the thing. I had the TPU wrist element, and I attached the forearm piece and used Velcro to attach the both sides of the palm. So I finally got everything assembled, but I wanted to show you guys some of the in-between videos where I had it at different stages, and I took little videos with my phone. On the left is just a little picture of everything pre-assembled. I was messing with the thumb. I couldn't quite get the thumb to fit perfectly in there, just because of the angle of the design of the thumb. So I ended up just not having the thumb articulate, but there it is. As far as on the left, you have it without the front piece, and then the other one, I just attached the thumb and had everything articulate. Kind of hard to see it there, but yeah.
All right, it's all put together. It's functional enough. The thumb, I wasn't able to get the leverage. I'd have to reorient the whole thumb to be on a different plane in order for the transfer of energy to happen cleanly with using my current system. So this is it. I am Velcroed in, so once I'm in my glove, I'm pretty good. So, yeah. And if I need to, I can remove this because it's all Velcroed in. Yeah. I think I might paint this. I don't know. It's a lot of work, but I think this looks really cool as is. We'll see. That might be a separate video. I'll see you guys next time.